Yo, how's it going? Yeah, I was muted. How's it going, folks? Leaf, Bullets, Tasmanius, Byron. How's it going, fellas? We are back with another stream. Yeah, Steve is always late. He's too busy being miserable on Twitter. Uh, I got a bit of sigh of relief today. So I'm doing a lot better. Finally got some good news. But Resident Evil Showcase, Tony's going wild. It's it's been an interesting week. It's been an interesting week. Let's just say that. Put some music on too. Yeah, that's about right. Watching DCG and Reforge content. Maybe. Maybe. I've actually been watching that 4-hour Anthem video by Mark Durrell. I'm almost at 2 hours. Leave, I have no idea. It starts at 10 o'clock. So we'll be switching over at 10. But man, it's crazy how much problems there was with this Anthem game. There was stuff that I knew about, but there was a lot that I didn't hear about. It's crazy just how mismanaged this project was. And there is some severe dislike for Casey Hudson. Whether it's jealousy or something else. Man, it's an interesting video. It's 3 hours and 40 minutes long. It's a really interesting video. Byron, until it happens, they won't believe it. Until one of them actually go, they won't believe it. I think a Fable could be released in the summer. I mean, summer could work. You know, I'm just curious to see what they're going to launch alongside Starfield. That is still a thing. You know? Because there's still big games coming that we just haven't heard about, right? There's still more coming. Aaron Greenberg has said there is a lot more coming throughout the year. So how they're going to space it all out for the 25th anniversary is going to be interesting. Fable's cancelled. Don't be silly. Fable? I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, it really depends how far into development it actually is. So when we see the dev direct, we'll have a much better understanding. But yeah, I'm not too sure. I think Gears is going to be November. I think Halo might come out in the mid. I can see Halo being June, and I can see Gears being in November, with September being um Starfield. My audio sounds garbled. You guys sure? Oh boy, it's so hot in this house at the moment. It's way too hot, chat. Mike goes in and out last couple streams. No one mentioned anything, so I've not looked into it. If no one mentions anything, I can't really fix it. Is that better? Again, I can't know if no one's mentioning anything. Because I'm running now through StreamYard directly, not through OBS, so I have very limited audio controls. But I do have some. Yeah, there's nothing else here that I can see, and the audio receiver is fine. I've got echo cancellation on. Maybe if I do this, it might be better. Let's see. Is that better? Let me reduce the volume a little bit. Is that better? Chat. Is that better? Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3. Now it was NVIDIA broadcast causing problems. Yes, do you think Ubisoft is gonna do the Division 2 Definitive Edition just like the Rumor Division 1 Definitive Edition? I mean, it's not perfect. Oh, this kind of sucks. If I knew, I would have just gone back to the old system. Can't really change it now. How about this one? Is this any better? This is worse. This is really muffled now. It's good to get these technical issues. This is fine. I'm changing the different audio settings that I've got available on this, so that's why it's going through different stuff. But is this one better? No, it's wired. Uh, what if I stop the background music? Is that better? Like, Final Fantasy is the greatest franchise ever created. Period. Nothing else comes close to it. As for the Division, I don't think they need it, but Ubisoft will probably try cashing in on the whole definitive edition, so I can see it happening. Mods for 15? That do what? That do what? What? Who are you dragging out? Wait. What? Looked like you was dragging out a body. Well, it ain't my body, so I'm okay. New weapons, outfits, combat changes, and a lot more. But the game was perfect the way it was. It doesn't need any of that. But folks, apparently this website was supposed to go down and it hasn't gone down. So if you still have a Stadia controller and you want it to be Bluetooth enabled, because currently it is not, this website is still up. It was supposed to go down on the 31st of December. You go to switch Bluetooth, you basically start a process, and that's it. It's a really simple thing to do. I'll put a link in the chat just in case anyone still has one of these controllers. It's unusable if you don't go through this process because they didn't add Bluetooth to it. She's just preparing your body back with the string mats. I mean, as maybe some of you have noticed, maybe some of you didn't. I've been quite grouchy and somewhat miserable over the past week or so. There has been a reason for that. No, I actually, on a more serious note, I found a lump on my body, which we thought was cancerous. And we finally got the confirmation today that it wasn't. So I'm quite relieved that it wasn't cancer. It's been heavily weighing on my mind. And yeah, it was quite scary. Um, so yeah, that's a massive weight off my shoulders. You know, so I'm back to the chill, usual self that I am. Waiting for Steve to send me the graphics card. Just the usual stuff. That being said, though, for all the nays and ways, it looks like Life is Strange is returning in 2026. There is going to be a showcase on January the 20th to at 6 p.m. I don't know if this is going to be a sequel to Double Exposure or if this is going to be another spin-off, but it's I haven't finished Double Exposure, so these mean nothing to me. But that looks like Chloe grown up. Yeah, we found out. Like I said, it's been like 7 to 10 days ago. I noticed it. We put it through, and thankfully, we were told today. So it took like 7 days. But that's why I've been a little bit grouchy over the past week. I hit it well, but yeah, Life is Strange. I didn't think there'd be another one. I actually thought they were done with this after Double Exposure didn't do very well, and I'm really happy that they're continuing the series. I'm about halfway through like Double Exposure, so maybe I'll finish that as well on stream at some point. Who knows? But I'm really enjoying it. The original was great. I didn't really play the spin-offs. I've just been playing the continued storyline of Life is Strange, the prequel, and Double Exposure. I think so. See, the thing with Neo Automata was that the endings were so. I mean, you had the five big endings, right? And you could do whichever one you wanted, but they were all kind of at the end, and with the way Nier did it, you finished the game the first time, then you played a new game again, and it showed you played for a different game, which is weird the way he did it, because most people won't think about actually doing that. But that's Yoko Taro for you. You had to basically start the game 3 times in order to get the true ending. But each time you played the game, it was a different experience. Hey, Talos. Hey, Big Money. How's it going? But yeah, for those of you that have played Near Automata, like you was mentioning, you finish the game and you get an ending, and then you select new game again, And when you do, you play the game on the perspective of the companion that you were with. It's a lot shorter, mind you. It's like about 40% as long as the original playthrough. Once you complete that one, they both kind of converge at one point at the ending. And then when you click new game again, that's when the game continues from convergent point, and you finish the story. Hey, Sirius. Your female Code Vein character is level 51? That's how it's supposed to be done. Hey, PSI Blows. So yeah, cool stuff with this one. I'm excited to see where they're going to go with it. So Eidos Montreal is developing an unannounced quadruple A game in Unreal Engine 5. So you know it's going to be bad. And has there actually been a good quadruple game? You had a Skull and Bones, I think it was called, as a quadruple. The first quadruple game. Has there ever been a good quadruple game? Quadruple A game? Why so serious? I would, but Steve's already 100%ed it, got 1,000 achievement points. No point at this point. He took one for the team. I don't know why we need quadruple A. I mean, triple A was fine, right? What is this whole quadruple A business? Swartzen, I don't understand what you're saying. My apologies. I'm using the two-handed greatsword. The axe hammer isn't powerful like the greatsword. The greatsword is probably going to be the best, right? Greatswords are awesome. I'm good, Swartzen. How are you? Stop being lazy in London. Oh. Quadruple A is a marketing term created by Ubisoft to make Skull and Bones sound interesting. It failed. I mean, wasn't the next Halo supposed to be quadruple A as well? I don't know. When a company comes out and says the game is going to be a quadruple A, I start to get concerned. I start to get worried. Oh, I didn't know that, Leaf. I enjoyed God Eater. I think I played it on the PSP. Hey, I'm just saying what they said. I'm just a messenger, serious. He said Final Fantasy is the worst thing ever. Nah, he would never say that. He would never say that. Everyone knows I love Final Fantasy. More than egg. I haven't seen a video, but I've read a couple of articles and snippets. I mean, he told Microsoft not to buy them. I wouldn't say he scammed them. He told Satya, don't buy Activision Blizzard. This isn't for you. Go invest in AI or go do something else. This isn't the business for you. This isn't the company for you. He openly turned around and told Satya, and Satya, with his big headedness, decided that he knew best. And so he did. uh, how long has the game been out? And we're celebrating this? Like, as long as we can agree that Shadows is the true Creed, the true Assassin's Creed, then I'm happy. There's only one true Assassin's Creed, and that is Shadows. It's not fake. It's every bit real. No, Shadows is the true Assassin's Creed. Where's my Ubisoft CEO in chat? He needs to back me up. Was a new company made by the Warriors team, and they called the studio AAA Studios. I did not. Obliterated. Why? Why you guys don't like Assassin's Creed Shadows? That's okay, CEO of Ubisoft. I was just saying that Assassin's Creed Shadows is the true Assassin's Creed. And chat is trying to discredit me by saying that I don't know what I'm talking about. John, as the CEO of Ubisoft, what do you say? I mean, we got to listen to what the CEO himself says, right? The CEO himself says that Shadows is amazing. There is no bias here. Just because he's the Ubisoft CEO doesn't mean that he's going to be biased and say that the game is good when it's not. You can obviously take him at face value. So I think this case is closed. Oh, come on. There's the spirit. See, we need a Skull and Bones too. We need a 5A game. Quadruple A is not enough. We need a 5A game. That's what we need. We need the next level of gaming. What's so wrong with Skull and Bones? It's a brilliant Assassin's Creed game. You guys just don't know. All I'm hearing is oh, 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 oh. That's all I'm hearing in chat. You can do better. Bunch of Silla Blacks, the lot of you. Hey, look, I'm in a good mood today. Ain't nothing gonna break my mood today. I might be a little tired, but I am in a good mood today. So I've got great news. I've had a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. My DDR5 RAM stick is gonna be here soon, and I'm gonna start my pre-build on my PC. This is gonna be awesome. What do I think about what? Hey, Grey Minad. Some chocolates to the chat. Hey, I got it for $250. That's not too bad for a 32 gigabyte stick. God bless the USA and really bad, economy right now, and our really good British pound. The exchange rate is really damn good. It was actually 200 quid, but they added import tax. But still, the exchange rate was really good. So I know the economy over there might be sucking at the moment, but it's good for me. I will take advantage. Let me see something. Oh, Talos, I had a cancer scare last week and they fast tracked my testing, and it turns out that it's not, and I'm cancer free, which is great. So I'm not dying. I know some people in chat will see that as a massive negative, but I'm going to be around to annoy people for a little while longer. I didn't really do anything, Brick, until I picked up the RAM stick. Now that I've got the RAM stick, I can start building the rest. I'm gonna go for the 9950X3D CPU and a new motherboard, and that should see me through for quite a while. 7 minutes for what? No, it's not 7 minutes. Not 70 minutes. It's more like 69 minutes. Legit. Go for the Steam machine? No. Capcom are doing a showcase for Resident Evil only. Well, Gorsty, you do have the white van. You do have the white van. Your name is an email address instead of your tag. YouTube messed that up. So unless you go and give yourself a handle, your email address comes up in chat. There is one game that I would love to see is Final Fantasy 13 Trilogy Remaster. That would be great. But Microsoft won't let that happen. Microsoft is basically holding that game ransom. Hey, why have you gone to number one? Microsoft is holding that game ransom. I don't know why, but they are. All right. So we all joked about this, okay? Let's be real. We all joked about this, but apparently it's finally happened. South Korean design office hit by thief who only stole DDR5. Like, we all knew that this was going to happen at some point. But the fact that this is legit, that's funny. Come on, that's funny. We all knew that at some point this was going to happen. I know. It made me laugh a lot. Uh, this did give me the giggles. Let's see the comments. I know there's an article and it's 100% true, but I genuinely refuse to believe this. If my memory serves me, this is the first, right? I knew this was going to happen eventually. I don't know. I just thought this was hilarious. I thought this was hilarious. He only stole DDR5 memory. Hey man, look, we all knew it was going to happen at some point, right? We all knew that this was going to be a thing. But for them to actually do it, I actually think they did it for the lulz, right? I think they did it for a meme. I just can't imagine anyone going into a building, opening up the PCs, taking out the memory, and then winging it. I there is a part of me that just refuses to believe this is their sole purpose for going into that building, unless it was for a prank, so they could be on the media as the first to have done it. Hey man, I got 4 sticks of DDR4 memory, so if they're going up in price, it means I can sell those and buy another stick of 32 DDR5. Who knows? If the prices go up enough, I could even maybe buy a house. You know, anything is possible in this economy. According to the article, they were missing from inside the PCs. They took them from the actual machines that were in the office. They actually sat dismantling, taking the panel off so they could take the RAM. I don't know. It just sounds like a complete joke to me. I don't know. I know it's bad that this company lost all that stuff, but at the same time, it's just it's a joke. I mean, it could be anything, Banisher. It's still funny though. Deadlaw's Sonata, Legacy of Kain creator reveals new game 30 years later. Anyone remember Legacy of Kain? Well, the group, the person that made it is making this. Wait, it would help if you could actually see what I'm showing. IGN exclusive revealed today. Oh, I didn't see anything on this. Let's have a look at IGN. They have an exclusive look. So, well, they're covering graphics cards. The Asus Prime GeForce 5070 graphics cards has dropped below MSRP today, but it won't last. Is there anything? Well, there's some Echo the Dolphin games in development, which no one's going to play or buy. Turtles Magic of the Gathering. Maybe there was. Oh, here we go. Check the Reawakening trailer.
Victus.
Why does the old school version look better?
Deformis, second of Annalum. Remember, lightning does not discriminate between the living and the dead.
Thoughts? I don't know, man. It looks better in the old school than it does here. It looks more detailed. How does this look more detailed than this? This looks like something from like the 360 era, maybe even before. I don't know, man. We got another hour before the actual showcase. Oh no! You're still waiting on Subnautica? You're gonna be waiting a long time. I'm gonna go grab a drink. I'm back with plenty of drinks. Whew! Oh man, it is so hot in this house at the moment. I can't even open the door. And the fans are not good enough. Can't let Oreo out for like another 7 days, so everything has to be closed because my guy is still trying to do the Great Escape. So, Forza Horizon 6 has been given a release date. May 19th is the official release date for this. And May 15th, if you're getting the premium edition, which gives you early access and a bunch of other stuff. But they're trying to incentivize it by saying, hey, even if you got Game Pass, if you buy the game, well, more like pre order it, you'll get the Ferrari J50 pre tuned in Forza Horizon 6. What's your thoughts on that? You can hear me, right? Chat? Forza Horizon comes out on May the 19th. So, as a Game Pass customer, you'll be able to play this on the 19th. If you pay extra, you'll get to play this on May the 14th. If I'm right. Yeah, 15th, sorry. So, if you pay extra, you get to play it day one on May the 15th. If you don't, then you get delayed access to it on May the 19th. If you buy it or pre order it, the full game, you get a pre tuned exclusive Ferrari J50 in Forza Horizon 6. But that's only available if you pre order the full game. You do not get that as a Game Pass customer. What happened to Oreo? I never heard what actually happened to him. Oh, it seems he got his claw ripped out, like quite a bit of the way out, so they had to declaw one of his claws. Um, so they bandaged him up and did surgery and everything to remove it. And we took him in for a checkup today. Took the bandage off. Everything looked good, but they didn't remove the stitches today. But because they unbandaged him, they put a cone around his head. And since he had the cone around his head, he's been walking backwards. My guy's pretty much perfected the moonwalk by right now. He's been moonwalking pretty much into every hole he could find. He's become an expert at reverse driving. It's amazing. My guy doesn't even look back. He's just literally going backwards and still managing to find the tiniest hole that he can get into. I know, right? He went from being a cucumber to a conehead, and now he's running around as he's quite proud of himself because he managed to take the cone off himself. So he's really proud of himself, and now he's just sitting there getting pampered by the kids and stuff. He be Michael Jackson. Yeah, I know, Woodpit. It was pretty bad because when we found him, it was just a pool of blood. Everywhere he was just pools of like a massive pool of blood. It was pretty bad. So we had to rush him to the vet, and yeah, cost a pretty penny for the surgery and everything. But you know, he's family. You do what you got to do. Fuck's sake, Ghosty. I'm drinking. For God's sake. Fucking almost spat my water out. What's wrong with you? But yeah, so do you remember D-Batch was saying that this was coming day one to PlayStation? Right? Apparently now he never said no such thing. Forza Horizon on May the 19th on his PC. How quick that changed. How quick that changed, man. What happened to it? What happened to it coming to his PC day one? To his PlayStation? Oh, we know. Tell us it is, man. Set me back 4 bills. But you know what? He's worth it. Once he's all well and good, he's gonna have to work it off. But you know, we'll agree to that after he's recovered. It's just, it's just the way they move the goalposts is crazy, right? I didn't. I didn't. But even when Nibs called him out for being wrong, he doubled down. Because even Nibs told him that Microsoft already announced that it's not coming day one. And he said it is. It's definitely coming day one. Nah, I haven't seen it, pal. I think because I've stopped engaging with them for the most part, I just don't see their posts anymore. Oh, new a new Trails game, and I really want to play through the whole Trails saga, but there's like a million games, right? And each game is like a million hours. I think I've got more chance of completing Doom or played on a bacteria than I do with that one. But a game I personally really enjoyed, officially confirmed, Stellar Blade 2 is in development. God knows what it's going to be about, considering, well, I'm guessing it's going to be about Mother Sphere, and now that we know what it is. But yeah, number 2 is in development. I wonder if this is going to be released multi-platform, or if they're still going to keep it exclusive to console exclusive to PlayStation, or make it a simultaneous release with PC. You can send it. You can send it power. The only negative thing about Oreo being the way he is, I can't open the garden door because he can't go outside. And that makes me sad because I am so baking. Ugh. copy text. Let's see. Let's see. All right, let's check out this trailer and check out what Power sent. Tell us if you ask everyone else in the house, they're freezing, but I'm baking because of being diabetic. It's like -2 outside. You know, I think it was -4 the other day, and I was outside in shorts and t-shirt, and I was okay. Everyone was looking at me like I was some weird freak. All right, let's check this out. I mean, I got lizard scales on my legs, as you know from my emission yesterday. So maybe. Mate, if we had the heating on, I think I'd die. I think the fact that I've got my 3090 next to me as well, breathing heat into my face as well, probably isn't helping. Like, I'm sitting here, and my 3090 is here. It's literally just blasting it into the air where I'm at. So that's probably not isn't. I've already got a fan. It's on full blast. I'm surprised you can't hear it. It's crap though. Nothing works.
I hereby declare Part 1 of Project Star Taker's second phase complete. Let's do this.
What?
A huge national project, even bigger than the Zypha announced out of nowhere?
The world we know as Zemuria will face its imminent end.
It looks cool. Good waifu. Oh, very good waifu. Double the waifu.
Whoa! What kind of crazy fight was that?
Shenmue.
The real concern is why the Republic needs that kind of weaponry in the first place. The President's intentions weren't clear, which left the continent in a panic.
There's a hidden side to Project Star Taker after all.
But now, you must see it through to the end.
The shame finale is upon us, but all good things must come to
It looks good.
A storm is coming that will set all that exists asunder. It's far too late.
Clearly, she was the best character in the game.
I ain't showing any mercy.
I surrender.
Manifest.
She's close second. Wait, why does he look familiar?
PlayStation.
He looked familiar. Yeah, these games aren't has Steve dispatched a 5090 yet? Mate, I gave up on that a long time ago. Those things are worth gold now. Avowed taught you lizard people are real? I have become one of those lizard people. Let's see what power sent. We still have 40 minutes before the thing. I mean, they're not for everyone, for sure. Tell us they are turn-based, but this was Tales, right? See, the original Legend of Heroes that I played, I think I played. Let's see before I get to Power Swing. I played A Tear of a Million. Years ago. Mate, what is this? I know it was years ago. It wasn't that many years ago. Is it? Seriously? How 14 years ago? Sheesh. Maybe it was. Man, time has not been good for these videos. This was a great game, though. I did not see the ending coming. Since years. This was a really good game. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, man. Reliable insider ChatGPT user Nib compares Xbox to Sony PlayStation first-party output and conveniently leaves all the Bethesda and ABK games out of Xbox list. Wait, doesn't ABK just make one game? It's getting harder to cap for PS5 out there. Oh, I think I saw this thing. So this is missing all of the Call of Duty, the Skyrim re-releases. I guess they didn't include that on PlayStation either, right? Concord. Technically, if you're going to add The Last of Us Part 1, then you absolutely need to start adding the other remasters. I mean, yeah, I guess if they're going to include Death Stranding too. No. There's loads missing here, Power Boss. It didn't take a genius to figure that one out. You're right. There is loads missing from here. Loads. Where's Gears Reloaded? You know? Where's all the other games that are ABK and Bethesda related? Where's Doom? I mean, The Last of Us Part 1 was released on PS3. If we're gonna include The Last of Us Part 1, a PS3 game, then I think Gears Reloaded should have a place here. No? Mate, have you seen what Oblivion used to look like and what the new one looks like? It's almost a different game. That list was dumb that they made. Rise of Ronin instead of Blade and Death Stranding 2 are not first party. They're owned, developed by Koei Tecmo, Team Ninja, and Shift Up and Kojima Productions, respectively. But they will argue it was published by PlayStation Studios, which means Ninja Gaiden should have been there. Correct. Like I said, this list was just bollocks. I saw this and just completely ignored it. This list was so dumb, it was brain dead. I'm guessing his chat GBT just kind of broke. Well, man, that Nintendo God guy is still going at it, man. I mean, yeah. Honestly, I'm surprised Age of Mythology sold 111,000 copies. People keep saying there's a market for these games. I don't believe it. Man, Outer Worlds truly did not sell on PS5. A Vital, if they're going to include Concord, anything is game. If they're going to include a game that lasted 4 days, or was it 5 days, on open release before they shut it down and refunded everyone, everything is game, no matter how bad it is. Yeah, it was something silly, man. Wait, where's Forza Horizon 5? I guess they left that one out. Why would you leave Forza Horizon 5 out? That don't make any sense. Yeah, I don't know what it was about Outer Worlds 2. It just, I don't know, it just didn't appeal to me either, Banisher. That's alongside Forza Horizon 4, isn't it? It would have broken the graph. Yeah, I can see that. That 101k would have probably just been a line. It would have just been a line, right? Man, have you seen this new trend that's going on Twitter where everyone's stacking pictures? I don't like it. I don't like it. Literally everyone is doing it and it sucks. Indy was a great game, man. I'm surprised it didn't do anywhere near as well. pretty much tell us. Fuck's sake, Brick. Brick! Stop it! Stop. That's just mean. Yeah, no, Indiana Jones for me was my game of the year. I absolutely loved Indiana Jones. But then I'm also a huge fan. There's a detective cell going on now on Steam, right? Some really good deals on games you're not going to play. Hey, Brothers Grimm, how's it going? Resident Evil Showcase starts in 27 minutes. There's really not much news going around at the moment. Like I said, I was watching that Anthem video that came out. That is crazy. Has anyone actually sat down and listened to what Mike Dara was saying? I'm going to guess no one. So it looks like Mark Dara, if you guys know who he is, he's the BioWare guy that worked on Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, the Dragon Age games. He's more known for the Dragon Age games than anything else. And he did a 3 hour and 40-minute deep dive into why Anthem failed. And it's an interesting read. Well, listen. Would you react to it? That's a 4-hour video. I mean, we could do it for half an hour from where I left off if you want. But that seems like crazy talk. But I kind of understand now why Anthem actually failed. And though they were trying their damnedest to make it work, I also understand why they never continued, because it was never going to work. It'll make it 8 hours if you react to it. 8? More like 10. No. I mean, they improved Anthem a lot. But in terms of the mismanagement, dude, it was nuts. Just listen to this. Just listen to this for like 5 minutes, right? Just listen to what he's saying. Like I said, this is as far as I've got so far, and this is only January 2018.
5D or 2.5D pathfinding space into a true 3D space. If I Can Fly and it's a multiplayer game, it can be really hard to keep your party together because we can go off in every single direction. And because we're a multiplayer game, that can become a big problem because it's going to impact the amount of world we need to have streamed in, because your party of 4 could be in 4 totally different places. And you are going to have to keep all of that world in memory all at the same time. And this is ultimately why flying went through this weird on again, off again relationship on Anthem. The team was having a lot of difficulty figuring out how to design combats with.
So essentially, they built a single player game into a multiplayer game. Like, despite the team being told that this is a multiplayer game, they built it as a single player and then had to modify it into a multiplayer. That never works. Now, this ain't even a Redfall treatment. This is just, dude, some of the stuff that you hear early on in this video is shocking. It's absolutely shocking. I mean, Casey Hudson has this crazy reputation, but inside BioWare, a lot of the actual senior management really despised him because he was seen as the poster child, and the actual developers themselves in-house wouldn't listen to the other senior management and would only listen to Casey. And the problem was, Casey was leaving, so he didn't care about the project anymore. And he left it in a mess.
Flight in place. So the decision made by the creative director was to remove it to try to encourage them to design combat in some environment, with the idea being that once they figured that out, they could then be re-added. The problem is this isn't really the best way to approach a problem like that. The reason why the environment that was originally built for E3 2017 was flat, was the farm, was because it was built when combat was removed. But if you actually look at the way that encounters and storytelling and the like is done in Anthem, it's done through a lens that essentially assumes that flying doesn't really exist. Additionally, the game doesn't really take full advantage of flight. There isn't a lot of gameplay that assumes you're flying. There isn't a lot of gameplay that interacts with the mechanism of the way flight works in Anthem in order to integrate it fully into the rest of the gameplay. So not only...
That's true. That is really true. Because with Anthem, there was almost no aerial combat. You had the occasional flying thing that you could take out, but it was easier to take them out on the ground than it was in the air. They really didn't do anything for aerial combat at all, even though the flying was probably the best aspect of the game. But the flying was designed with no combat.
Is it causing consequences in the way that other things are working? Other things aren't pushing back, aren't causing their own consequence, intentionally integrating and weaving it into the overall structure of the gameplay as a whole. I think flying is Anthem's best feature, but I think you can also argue that in a lot of ways, it's Anthem's worst feature, because the consequences of flying aren't adequately taken into account in the game design. The game isn't integrating flight adequately into the creation and design of the other parts of the game around it. So when we are adding very innovative things into our games, that's awesome. That's something that we should be trying to do because that's how the industry pushes itself forward. But when we're doing that, we have to be prepared to commit to the amount of work that is required.
Vital, hover. You're fighting ground combat, not air combat. I'm talking about when you're in the air, you're fighting against, enemies that are airborne. They added a few later on, but there wasn't a lot in the game that required airborne combat, where you could only attack them through flying. Being able to hover and still defeat the enemies on the ground is still ground combat. I'm talking about taking the flying and actually using it in airborne combat. That was very limited. There's more than 3 games. Apparently, the 4th game is well. Do you want to know what the 4th game potentially is, Jesse? Like this one over here, they were talking. He was saying that having one person or a couple people being remote is fine. Having the whole team being remote but together in person is fine. But having people overall, like we were when when COVID hit and we was all kind of in our homes working, that didn't work. And that was one of the big problems with this game because accountability fell through. People weren't able to, throw. One of the things that he said that is really important in the games industry and in most places is the throwing of ideas and solutions and propositions. All of that disappeared when people began to remote work. That part of the working cohesiveness that brings collective ideas together no longer existed. There wasn't a think tank anymore. It was just single ideas going through. And I totally get that. And he said that really had a massive impact on the game. As he was working on his own, working remotely, that bias set in as well. But then you also had the 2 teams working on this, right? Austin and wherever the other studio is. Can't remember now the name. But the one in Austin, which was managed by Casey at the time, and then he left and someone else came in, that team just refused to communicate with the other team entirely. They just did what they knew was best and what they wanted to do, and then said, right, here's what we have as an update, work from it, rather than having any form of creative dialogue. It honestly was crazy. And then, the whole single player and multiplayer, BioWare has always been a single player studio, but no real multiplayer experience. And though these people were playing games like Destiny, seeing the finished product doesn't mean that you can make a multiplayer game. It's something you kind of have to experience. And again, that's where the next stage sentence comes in. Playing is different to making. And apparently, like most companies, studios, when they're building a new IP, they invest a lot in tools. Apparently, BioWare invested only 50,000 in tools, when most companies spend about 300,000 to 500,000 in getting the right tools. No, there was almost no investment in tools, even though they had to kind of write up the whole engine for it. So,
in order to adapt the other features that we're keeping to this new innovation, we can't build a game without flight, build systems without flight, and then add flight on top, because those systems aren't going to properly take flight into account. And flight is the place where this happens on Anthem, but you see this in other games that add brand new, interesting features. This is that often they maintain status quo on the features that aren't this new innovation, and sometimes that doesn't work. This isn't to say we shouldn't try new things. This isn't to say that we can't introduce a new feature that is going to become our best feature, but innovation does have consequence. We need to consider that as we are innovating. Consider the knock-on effects as this feature impacts the other features in the game. Another way to go, and this is the way I think that the Monster Hunter team acts, is to introduce our innovation from the edges and then integrate it more and more deeply into the game over subsequent innovations. One of the advantages of doing it this way is it lets us be incredibly experimental, try really crazy things, but isolate them to a large degree from the overall game experience. But then if they are enjoyable, if they are successful, we can move them ever closer to the center of the gameplay experience. But this requires you to have a much longer term thought process, a plan where you are assuming that features are going to exist across multiple games, are going to be iterated on and more fully integrated or potentially discarded from game to game to game. A lot of studios don't have that kind of time horizon. So they are having to introduce new features very close to the center of the experience because this might be the only shot they get. Or
an example of this is Destiny, for example, where Destiny turns around and introduces a new mechanic for each expansion. Like the raids have a single mechanic for the whole raid. The latest expansion that came out had you turning into a ball on the planet. So what he's saying here is when you either bake these things in at the beginning, and that's the proper way to do it, so the game is built around these mechanics. But what you'll find more often happening is, mechanics getting added for specific areas of the game, because you can't turn into a ball in any other area in Destiny, only in the area that it's been designed for. It's been tailored for that. And so that's one way of doing it, but it's not the best practice way of doing it, but it's a way for them to continuously add mechanics. The problem with Anthem was the whole world was a persistent world. And so that made it a lot more difficult. It probably is going to be a Requiem showcase. I didn't like him either, Telos. I didn't like him either. Just so you guys know, I do have it up. It's got 10 minutes.
Or the next game might be 6 years further out.
But honestly, if you're interested in like any form of game development or something like this is a really good educational video of how not to do things and the problems and consequences that can happen through mismanagement, miscommunication, lack of communication, lack of direction. Like, there was so much wrong with how this game came out. It's a miracle that they actually managed to ship a game. In fact, from what he was saying, the pitch that Casey Hudson made to EA at the time, the game ended up being nothing like the pitch at all, remotely. It became a completely different game. Now, Colossus was the best way to go. Apparently, there were supposed to be 6 javelins, but that didn't work out. No, 8 javelins, wasn't it? I think it was. And that didn't work out. And then they were going to have 2 versions of each class, a more offensive type and a more defensive type. So you've got Colossus, which is a tank, but then you were supposed to have a, hey, what's up? Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Okay, we'll have to put you some food. The Colossus was supposed to have a paladin version. Storm was supposed to have a full-on support version. Ranger was supposed to have another one. Apparently, most of them had 2 versions, but one of them wasn't even designed yet. And so there were, instead of having 8 different javelins, they were going to basically have 2 versions of each. But then that got scrapped as well, and they were left with the 4 in the end. I'm just going to go put my cat some food. Resident Evil stream is almost ready to start. It's got 8 minutes. I'm just going to go put him some food for 2 minutes, and I'll be right back. I will let this play so I can still hear it, so you guys got something to listen to, but I'll be back in like a minute or so.
Know that you're going to get another one,
Come on, let's go.
or you can at least assume you're going to get another one. It gives you another potential way to introduce innovation, having it slowly migrate its way from the outside of the experience into the center. When we are making a multiplayer game, we have to think about the ownership of the different parts of what's going on. When I'm experiencing story, whose story is it? Am I experiencing it just for me? Are we all experiencing the same story at the same time? Am I experiencing your story? This also applies to my character, my equipment, and the world as a whole. Casey's vision for Dylan, this perfectly crafted EA bit of candy, the answer to almost all of those questions was our, where our was defined as a small group of people. There's a lot of conjecture in what I'm about to say, but this is how I think it was supposed to work. In part, this conjecture exists because I'm essentially reverse engineering from a couple of pitch decks. Like I said before, a lot of this design either didn't exist at all, or it left BioWare with Casey when he left. The equipment is ours. I can climb. We share a collection of javelins, and we can upgrade and climb into any javelin we want and then go out together.
That was another thing, right? When Casey Hudson left, he took all the knowledge of what was what with him. He didn't leave a handover. He didn't leave anyone else in charge of what the game was supposed to be. He took all of that information with him because apparently it wasn't documented well enough. So after Casey left, people were left scratching their heads on what they were supposed to do. That's pretty bad.
The story is progressing based on all of our experiences. If I play at a time when you don't play and push the story forward, then the story is pushed forward for all of us. And in the case of the world, I think the intention was that our would be even broader, that the world would be shared commonly amongst the entirety of the community. But once Casey was gone, the answers to these questions kind of got lost. They basically weren't really being asked. And there are some answers that are relatively obvious in Anthem, and the default answer was an adequate answer. Who owns my character? It's me. Who owns my javelin? It's me. Who owns the world? By the time the game shipped, we moved to a place where the answer to that was effectively me, but we also pushed to a more static world as a result of that, because there was concern that if you had 2 different characters whose world state was in very different places, that it'd be confusing for them to be in visually different spaces at the same time.
See what the guy said.
Is that the right answer? Probably not, but that's where we basically landed. The place where the default answer really messed up Anthem is in storytelling. The default answer is essentially ours. We are in a mission together. We are experiencing story, and we are triggering the beats as we trigger the beats. We're all the main character. So whoever gets to the story beat triggers the story beat, and everyone else gets it in a secondary way. But the narrative is structured as if it's a single player game, as if you are going to get a series of beats in order. At the macroscopic level, this is effectively how it works. I can only consume the missions that I've either already done or the next mission in my story progression. So at the macroscopic level, the storytelling, essentially, it is mine. I am experiencing, as I am moving through the story, I am experiencing the missions in a way that is telling the story to me as if I am the protagonist. But within...
And if you look at the other games like, say, Destiny, you as the Guardian are there, you're being thrown into everything, but the real main characters Zavala, Ikora, these are the main characters. Cade, they were always the ones at the forefront. You were just like the goon that was thrown into the midst to go and deal with it as the Kingslayer or whatever, like the ace in the hole. But in Anthem, they made you the central character, so everything had to evolve around you. They essentially built it as a single player game, which you don't do for these sorts of games unless it's specifically designed for that. The problem is BioWare built this as a, even though they knew it was a multiplayer game, they still built it as a single player game. And they wrote the story as if it was a single player game. And that's where they screwed up. That's where they screwed up fundamentally. Because personally, me, I really enjoyed this game. I've got around 800-900 hours in this game. And, I don't regret it at all. I had a great time. I wish there was more content. I wish it was still here. But
in the missions, the answer ends up defaulting to an answer that is a lot closer to our. And this resulted in what we were calling shitty mentor. If I play a mission with somebody who has already played the mission, they can actually render my experience of that storytelling really bad because the story beats trigger as people reach them. And as a result, what can happen is we reach a story beat and we trigger that storytelling. And then while whatever is happening at that beat is still occurring, that person who knows what's going to happen next leaves and starts to go to the next beat. And then at the first possible instance that they trigger the next beat. So we might be in a defend beat and we're defending this point. And then
essentially what he's talking about here is speedrunners. Yeah, it's about to start. 60 seconds. I'm switching over now. I was keeping an eye on it. Essentially what he was talking about there is speedrunners and them ruining the experience for those that haven't done it. And that's something you have to cater for and think about. Like there was a situation I remember early on in Anthem where a person who just started the game, I think they just got to like level 15 or whatever it was on the javelins, and they match made into a stronghold and it set them to the final mission. They were only halfway through the game, but it just sent them straight to the final mission. Stuff like that should never happen. But they just did not know how to manage or build a game that's designed to be a live service. Is the audio okay? No, man, I didn't actually look. I was talking to a lot of people that were intrinsically involved in Anthem, and the stuff I'm hearing, I didn't hear half of the stuff that was going wrong. I mean, for good measure, like, you know, they weren't going to tell me everything, but I'm genuinely surprised the game even managed to come out and be enjoyable in the state it actually was in, if that makes sense. Oh, come on. It shouldn't be bad.
In this showcase, we'll go over the latest information on Resident Evil Requiem, which will release next month on February 27. Let's take a look at some of the gameplay.
はい、出ないとは言ってないですね。いや、言ってないです。まあ実際、あの時も話しましたけど、レオンでもうバチバチのホラーのステージをテストしてみたんですけど、やっぱりこんなレオンあんま見たくなくないっていう意見が大半だったっていうのは事実としてありますね。今回、グレイスとレオンで全然違うゲームになってます。グレイスの方は、その RE2 ですとか、バイオ7もそうですね。ホラーに特化したゲーム体験になってまして、レオンの方はというと、バイオ4に代用されるような緊張感はすごい高いんですけども、そこまでその恐怖に特化してない、アクションも楽しめるサバイバルホラー、レオンにふさわしい体験が作れてるんじゃないかなとは思ってて、グレースのホラーとそのレオンのアクション、2つこう並べて遊ぶことで、今までのバイオハザードではないすごく感情の揺れ幅が大きいゲームになってます。バイオハザードって緊張と弛緩のその差っていうのが一つ面白さだと思ってるんですけども、すごく緊張して静かなペースで進むグレースのゲームプレイと、もう発散してダイナミックに激しいアクションをする、そういうカタルシスなレオン。大きな意味でその緊張と弛緩っていう役割としてパートを最適に配置する、こういう意図で構成しています。
Oh shit! Oh damn!
レオンとグレース、2人とも主人公なんですけども、ストーリーとしては基本的には一つ。ストーリーの中でプレイヤーキャラがグレースになるパートがあって、またレオンがプレイするパートがあると。そういう構成になってますね。バイオ6の後のレオンの続きですけど、レオンはレクイエムの段階でも DSO のエージェントとして、バイオハザードテロと世界のね、戦い続けてるってことになってます。彼はたくさんの悲劇を見てきた。おそらく彼、今回過去一追い詰められることになると思うんで、その辺も注目してほしいなと思います。今回のゾンビは生前のその人の特徴っていうのを引き継いでいるゾンビがいます。例えば、館の中で掃除係の人がいるんですけども、その人はゾンビになってもひたすらこう屋敷をきれいにしようとね、掃除を続けてるんですよ。このようにいろんなこう生前の行動に執着するゾンビがいて、ゲームでは彼らの行動を観察して、うまくかわすのに利用したり倒すのに使うと、こういったことができるようになってます。レオンのゲームプレイは圧倒的な緊張感のある戦闘、RE4 から進化したサバイバルアクションになっています。トマホークは斧を装備しており、それによるパリができます。シューティングっていうのが中心になってくるので、さらに洗練されたガンプレイっていうところにも力を入れてます。また V を狙って、敵に体術を決める。それから敵が持っていた武器を奪って利用する。どの敵をどの部位を撃つのか、またどうやって倒すのか、こういった戦略を立てるのが面白さであり、それがうまくいった時にさらにこうカタルシスが倍増する、そういったゲームプレイになっています。グレースのゲームプレイは閉鎖空間の中を、投資弾薬、脅威となる敵、その中をもう恐る恐る考えながら動くっていうような面白さだと思ってるんですけども、グレースでは敵を倒すべきか逃げるのか、そこの判断も非常に重要になってきています。なので、レクイエムではそのための様々な手段を用意しています。それほど重火器いっぱい出てくるわけではないんですけども、一つこう象徴的な武器としてレクイエムというそのままタイトルを名を冠した武器が出てきます。この大口径の武器は 弾数ほどないんですけど、ここぞという時にグレースを救ってくれる頼りになる武器になってます。
I saw no bullets being entered into that.
実はクラフト要素も少しひねりを入れてまして、そのアンポルを作るためには感染したゾンビの血が必要になります。クラフトのリソースになる血っていうのを、つまり敵を倒すのにもまた意味があると。
It could be like
そういう意味で
Spider-Man
より
cosmic.
RS スタイルのゲームを深めるような
Where's the stealth
っていうのは
mission?
アクションに入れてますね。
That's too effective.
A variety of gameplay options have also been added to this title. Players can switch between 2 camera perspectives.
That's cool.
And these can be changed at any time during the game. Multiple difficulties are also available. New players can enjoy casual mode and use
there's
aim
my
assist to take
setting.
down
Let's
zombies with
go.
more ease. But if you choose Standard Classic, ink ribbons will be needed to save the game when playing as Grace. This mode is recommended for those who enjoy a tense atmosphere.
今回、ポルシェさんとコラボレーションさせていただきまして、
I'm a filthy
世界
casual.
に1台しかない車を作っております。
Resident Evil and Porsche are two very iconic brands with so much heritage. It's one of those collaborations you're always dreaming of as a gaming fan working in this environment. Collaborations like this obviously don't spawn out of nowhere. For his adventures, Leon needed a car which represents his style, but also delivers when it comes to navigating him through, all of those dangerous moments he experiences in the game. What I really admire about the custom Resident Evil Cayenne Turbo GT is how the team stayed true to its characteristics by still ensuring it feels authentic in this world. It took a lot of expertise from different departments at Porsche and complex 3D printing to apply those customizations to the real car. It's going to look amazing in the game.
今回もう一つハミルトンさんと、コラボさせていただきまして、レオンとグレースそれぞれのキャラのイメージをモチーフとした時計をつけてます。
Oh, actually,
two fantastic watch
you just
models
reminded
which
me,
recreate those worn in the game in all the stunning details. The khaki-filled Autochrono
Thank you.
and the Pan-Europe
totally
Automatic
forgot about that.
will be
Thank you.
limited edition, 2,000 pieces each, and will release alongside Resident Evil Requiem on February the 27th. Please stay tuned.
In addition to the base game, a deluxe edition featuring bonus content will also be available for purchase. Extra costumes for Grace and Leon, weapon skins, and screen filters will be included in this edition.
For the showcases, I set
Those who
the
pre-order
ads to
will receive
absolute
an
minimum
apocalypse costume for Grace.
without YouTube penalizing me.
Along with the platforms shown, the game will also be available on the cloud gaming service GeForce Now.
Let's go, GeForce
This title
Now.
is being
Whoop,
developed
whoop.
in collaboration with NVIDIA, so a wide range of PC users can enjoy it.
It's such an honor to work on Resident Evil.
That's where
the
I'm playing.
iconic series has been thrilling fans around the world for close to 30 years, and has continued to raise the bar for innovation and technology with every single release. We've been working closely with Capcom on Resident Evil Requiem, helping shape the future of the franchise with path tracing for realistic graphics, an AI-powered NVIDIA DLSS 4 with multi-frame generation for incredibly fast
Look at that
performance.
frame gen. Let's
DLSS
go.
also makes Resident Evil Requiem more accessible across a wide range of PCs, extending the nightmare to more gamers. And with GeForce Now, gamers can experience Resident Evil Requiem at launch with the cutting-edge graphics and performance on nearly any device, streaming from powerful GeForce RTX servers in the cloud. I can't wait to unlock the mysteries of Raccoon City once again.
Not only that, 1/6 scale figures of our two protagonists will also be available for purchase. Grace and Leon's figures can be displayed separately or together as a set. And if you line them up with previous figures, both figures are scheduled for release this fall. An original design Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller will be released on the same day as the game. And as a series first, Amiibo will also be available. Please look forward to more information. On Resident Evil Requiem launch day, the gold editions of both Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, including all downloadable content, will be released on the Nintendo Switch 2. We'll also be celebrating 30 years of the series with special concerts. Relive the series' greatest moments with breathtaking orchestral performances. The first ticket lottery is open right now to Resident
the
Evil
music for this game was never iconic.
Concerts are planned for not just Japan, but North America and Europe. More information on these will be released later.
Not for me, anyway. Elpis is the
これもね、まだお伝えしてるんですけ
in
ど、
Final
実は
Fantasy
レオンにはあ
14.
る秘密があって、そことも関わってくる要素だったり、グレースのお母さんアリスタが殺された、そこにも関わる非常に重要なものになっているので、この辺のね、その謎をプレイしてぜひ解き明かしていってもらえればなと思います。バイオハザードレクイエム、まだまだ言いたいこと本当にキリがないんで、発売まで引き続き注目していただければと思います。
Maybe Leaf, I just can't think of a single one. There is a new series called Birdie.
Why did you kidnap me?
I kidnapped you.
Kidnap you? I liberated you. Take a second opinion.
What is happening here?
I'll keep our friends busy.
What the fuck?
Look, I would be saying the same thing too. Is that it? Is that it? It's over. "13 minutes."
It's busy.
What the fuck?
Man, it's available on everything. Steam, Epic, Switch 2, Xbox Series X and S, PS5, everything. They said the Amiibo was coming, but we'll be showing it at a later date. This is weird. I was expecting a little more than 10 minutes. I mean, it did look cool, though.
圧倒的な緊張感のある戦闘。RE4 から進化したサバイバルアクションになっています。
That is cool. It was really short, brothers. What question did it answer for you, dude? I'm just happy it's coming to GeForce Now day one. I mean, it didn't say what platform it was on, did it? I didn't notice. Chat, what is the highest selling video game of all time? Hey, Rabbi. No one actually bought Tetris. That was pre-bundled, right? It is in fact Minecraft with 350 million. Let's add that to the thing. Number 2 was GTA, 220 million. Number 3 was Wii Sports at 82.9 million. Number 4 was Red Dead Redemption at 79. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at 78 million. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds 75. Terraria at 64. The Witcher Wild Hunt at 60. Super Mario Brothers at 58 million. And Human Fall Flat at 55. Apparently, Tetris and Oregon Trail were left off due to disputes on different iterations. Wii Sports was bundled. Nintendo included those in overall sales. Hey man, that's an interesting list right there, right? What's up, Remy? Oh, I'm good, Remy. Just a little tired. It's been a really long day. I'm just a little tired. Yeah. Just GTA 5. They're not talking about the whole series. I mean, Minecraft would have sold more if you included the whole series, right? Rabbi, I said I'm doing fine, just tired. Really tired. I'll tell you what, Darren, you go buy it and let us know. when that game drops down to a 10, I'll consider it. And even then, I'm not sure. Because there's no shot that that game is gonna do anything right. Enough. All right, there we go. Games are expensive, but 50 quid a pop is not bad for games. I think 50 quid a pop is good. When is the PlayStation event? No idea. PlayStation events are shit, they released more info on Life is Strange. Does anyone want to know, or do they want to wait until the 20th of January, which is Tuesday? There's no release date for it, Rabbi. So do you remember Chloe Price, the friend from the first game? She's back. Max Caulfield is coming back as well. And it is releasing this year. We have to wait until they announce it, Rabbi. That is big news. Sorry, I really did enjoy Life is Strange, but that is pretty big news. Both Chloe and Max are going to be back. So this is actually a true sequel to Double Exposure. So I'm going to have to finish that before this comes out. The game is made by Deck 9 Games. So hopefully it's going to be good. The first trailer for the game will be shown on the 20th. Game is expected to be a direct sequel to Double Exposure. There you go. So I know you've got like Life is Strange Colors and the other spin-offs. Those are actual spin-offs. The only ones that follow the true timeline is Life is Strange, the original. They released the DLC prequel and Double Exposure. Those are the ones that follow the original timeline. And then, of course, now you're going to have whatever this one is called, Life is Strange Reunion, if this is it. Rabbit, there's no info. That teacher, man, in Life is Strange, that was crazy. Yeah, Darren, don't confuse him, man. He's you know, give him straight answers. I don't mind trolling about with anyone else, but not him. Yeah, Before the Storm was a prequel. That was the one. Assassin's Creed Black Flag resynced on everything. What's this? Life is Strange 2 and True Colors were just spin-offs, right? They didn't follow the original storyline. Although they did ask in they do ask you in Life is Strange 2, did you play the original and what choice you made? There's no real thing to it. It's a good thing that they've finally left behind the PS4 and the Xbox One. It's about time, man. Oh, it looks like Mag was in hospital. Yeah, for sure, Darren. For sure. I pre-ordered the Generation Pack for Resident Evil 9 on Switch 2 because it was £80 on Amazon for Resident Evil 7, 8. You know, I watched the Missus play through 7 years ago. I never actually played it because she was playing through it, so I was kind of watching her play it. But considering I've seen 7 and 8, I just can't. I can't find myself investing and buying that pack. I don't know. He posted it 7 hours ago. Out of recovery and heading home. I'll be back on tomorrow night for Friday Night Live. Be there. No cage is big enough to hold this beast. So, yeah, maybe something happened between the 2 times. I'm not sure. What game? What game are you referring to, Mr. Gorsty? He was streaming Code Violet. I mean, that explains everything, Darren. Guy streaming Code Violet and then ends up in hospital. Do you know what? I think that explains everything. The one I was showing before? This one? Oh, yeah, I'm so gutted this is cancelled. Oh, no, this isn't the one that's cancelled. But I know which one you're talking about that's cancelled. Mung Flap or something like that. Mung Dap, Kung Dap, I don't know. From what I've read into, Project Mara was never really a thing. It was just a concept. It never was an actual game to be cancelled. So I don't know if you can say it's been cancelled. We didn't really see anything other than a concept, and that was it. And apparently, it was always supposed to be a concept. So take that as you will. Hey, look, I'm tired, okay? That's my excuse. I'm sticking with it. And what I'm going to do, chat, let me ask you guys here now. I'm probably going to be streaming during the day tomorrow. I'm trying to get some day streams going on YouTube for just gaming Let's Plays. Outside of Kong, The Walking Dead, Gollum, Code Violet, Quantum Error, I'm trying to think of anything else. My Little Pony. I think I've covered off all the bad ones. At the moment, I'm playing through, catching up on Final Fantasy XIV. I'm catching up on Wuwa, on a bit of Genshin. I'm catching up on, I'm playing, what is it? Dragon Quest Part 3. I've got a God of War Ragnarok to eventually finish. And a couple of older titles like Avowed, Oblivion, but Oblivion I'm really early, so I'm not sure about that if I want to get stuck into that right now. Is there anything in particular you'd like to see streamed tomorrow, or should I just go with whatever flow? I know there's a demo of Parasite Mutant as well. I was going to play that tonight after the showcase, but I'm starting to feel really tired, so I'm probably going to call the stream in a little bit. But I ruled that one out because I know you was going to go for that. God damn it. Why did I even bother? Why did I even bother? Star Citizen would have to be on the weekend when my buddy from work can play, because he just knows more about that game than I do. It's on the cards, though. I had to put that on hold towards the end of last year because someone in his family passed away. So I didn't want to turn around and go, hey, sorry about, you know, things like that. You know, it'd be disrespectful. There are VR games as well. Oh, actually, on the note of VR, did you guys know that the studio that made Batman VR is gone? There's like 5 people left working there. It's just pretty much administration now. The whole studio has been gutted. Everyone has been laid off. Like, all the VR studios are just getting gutted now, man. And VR is actually good. And Darren, I absolutely stand by it. Why does it matter? Because to me, it doesn't. Tears, Vital. They are administering tears of sorrow for all their hard work having not been respected. New World Aeternum will officially be taken offline from all platforms on January the 31st. So that's gone too. That's the one that Leaf was talking about. On January 15th, the title will be delisted and no longer available. That kind of sucks. No, Deadpool Studio was another one. And then in February, I'm looking to bring back the community nights. So we'll make start on community nights again in February. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've just never been. I'm definitely gonna play Reanimal next month. You know, it's this they're the actual team behind the people behind Little Nightmares, and you can tell that the quality for Little Nightmares 3 dropped drastically. Little Nightmares 3 had a drastic drop in quality, which is a shame. But I'm hoping Reanimal is going to be good. I remember they were toying about the idea, Bullet, so it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me at all. But yeah, studios are disappearing like there's no tomorrow. They're just getting gutted. But the VR studios in particular, I think they've realized that it's just not working. And if you want VR to work on consoles, you have to launch it with the hardware, with the console. If you don't launch it with the console, then it's just not going to. It's no one's going to make games for it. Microsoft had the right of it when they launched Kinect with the Xbox. And if you remember, during the early stages of Kinect, everyone was supporting it, making games for it, because if they sold 30 million Xboxes, that was 30 million Kinects in homes. The moment you make it as, an optional accessory, that's it. No one cares and no one wants to support it because there's no real metric on how many they've sold or how many people have. And that's the problem with not supplying it. And it's the problem with the PSVR too. It wasn't launched with the console. So the uptake of the hardware is minimal. Halo is just a remake. Forza is a timed exclusive, so it's coming to Xbox first. I suspect Forza will go to PlayStation towards the end of the year. That's what makes more sense. Gears will probably be 2027. Fable, I suspect, depending on when it launches on Xbox, might be 2027 as well. Microsoft's strategy seems to be weird with the way they release their games on other platforms. If it's a new entry into the system, they value that as a new game and a new thing, and then they kind of make that a timed exclusive. But if it's a remake or a remaster, that goes day one. As for Wolverine, I think Wolverine's release date is dependent on GTA. Wolverine will be ready at the end of the year. So will GTA if it's coming out this year. If GTA is coming, Wolverine isn't. Darren, I don't know how that's going to work. If they miss out, they miss out. I think it's really that simple. At this rate, I think everything's going to launch before GTA. Oh, I know. Leaf Anniversary was a remake to me too, but hey man, as long as you guys enjoying the show and enjoying the discussions, it's what keeps me coming back. As long as you guys are enjoying it and you're turning up, I'll be here. As you know, I'm giving this a real crack at going full time. So as of next week, I'll be doing a lot more like Let's Play streams as well. And I'm trying to push more content out. And yeah, I'm just trying to do more to provide you guys with more content. I still have Silent Hill 2 to finish as well. We started that on stream. So maybe we could continue that tomorrow. I know I need to gear up on Final Fantasy 14, so there's that too. So we could work on that. So we could do the Monster Hunter trial. A top 10 waifu videos. Mate, Brown Dust would win. Did you guys hear about Brown Dust? Those aren't my type of game, man. Subnautica just isn't my type of game. I tell you what, Sapphire, you buy it for me, I'll play it. If you buy it for me, I'll play it. There is no way I'm spending any more than $10 on that game. And that's even too much. $50? Not a chance. Go. I see you're another 2B lover. Respect, my dude. Respect. Brown Dust is a very, 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 I'm going to say bordering the line of what is acceptable as soft porn and porn in terms of gacha. They literally blur the lines. But recently, the global legislations turned around and said you can't really do that anymore because of this and that. And they were basically saying that they're going to they need them to censor the game. And so they decided that they were going to cave into the, government's requirements and censor the game. The community, naturally, who are playing that game, got into a massive uproar. And people started uninstalling the game. Whales started leaving the game. And then they sat down and said, look, we're going to do a feedback form. Fill in that feedback, and we'll do an emergency, this announcement. So they did the feedback form. Loads of, they got hundreds and hundreds of replies, thousands. And they went through them, and they came back and said, right, we've heard you loud and clear. We are not censoring the game, but we found a loophole to appease those governments that want us to censor it. So we're going to have two versions of the game. One that is PG or 12 rated, and another one that is 18 rated. And the community said, all right, let's go. And they got around the censorship that way. They released two versions of the game. They're having two clients of the game now. Hey, Banisher, thank you so much for the £2 super chat. Super sticker. I appreciate you. And so yeah, it's they found a loophole and beat the system. I tell you what, Grey Monad, just go check out their social platform, and then you'll understand why. But hey, good on them. There is a demo for Parasite Mutant as well. It's like 45 minutes to an hour long. So maybe we can check that out tomorrow as well if people are interested. But brown dust sounds like something grandma has. Do you know what? Do you know what? I might actually get in trouble for showing this on stream, but I'm going to see if there's anything tame. Yeah, that isn't tame. Yeah, there is nothing tame. Nothing. And anything that is remotely risque is censored to hell. Just so Twitter won't ban them. Brown dust too. But I just like the fact that they actually beat the system. They beat the system. They beat the governments. Maybe that's why they invented VR. Maybe. It's really weird because a lot of these games have a really good story, but no one will look at it or even remotely be interested without the eye candy to draw them in. It's like Nikkei. It has probably one of the best stories in a video game I've ever seen. It's phenomenal. But you would never play it. You would never even consider looking at it. So they have to use eye candy in order to get you in through the door. And then once you've experienced, there's a saying in the gacha community, you came for the waifus but stayed for the story. And that's a common saying for those games. And there's a lot of truth in it. They put a lot of effort into the story because that's the part, because everything else eventually just gets boring, right? The eye candy. But the story is what has to be interesting and intriguing to keep you interested and coming back. But folks, that's true for everything. We should aspire to create beautiful things. Yeah. Like the actual gameplay is pretty basic, but it's like with Stellar Blade. Sure, Eve is really attractive, but if that's all that the game needed to be good, it would, if that's all the game had, it wouldn't be a good game. Just look at not Dino Crisis, Code Violet. The main character looks awesome, right? She looks really hot, but then the rest of the game is crap. So it fell apart quite quickly. Having a hot character alone draws the people in, but it's not enough to keep the player base there. You need substance. You need a good storyline. You need a good hook. And not many games can actually manage to do that. Go, yeah. That's a different saying, Brick. And I know exactly what you. That's literally. I am gonna play Code Vein at some point. I just want to get through all the games that I've. My aim this year is to finish the games or get up to date with the games and finish the ones I've kind of started and not finished. And I don't want to start anything new unless it's a small game or something that I know I'm going to sit and finish in one go. There's a bunch of games that I want to sit down and finish, like Valkyrie Elysium that I was playing through. So I think I'm going to finish those games and then move on. I did pick up Code Vein, so it's something I'm going to play. But that's my goal for this year. And with me doing more Let's Plays, it just enables me to play through more games. Like Double Exposure. I think I'm about halfway through that now. So that's something else I can pick up and finish up on stream. Or just finish offline. I do not like Souls games at all. I despise them. I don't find enjoyment in games being difficult for the sake of being difficult. But yeah, I am going to be live tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to play because none of you have given me a real direction. Maybe I'll go back to 14 or do something. I don't know. But I'll think of something. Maybe I'll start with Parasite Mutant. It's an hour long and then we can move on to something else after. Maybe Silent Hill 2 and continue playing that. But I am going to call it a night there. Thank you so much for all the support tonight. Apologies for I thought that thing was going to be way longer. But yeah, I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. I am going to release a video tonight, which I've been working on. So that's going to probably go live in the next half hour to an hour. So do look out for that when it goes live. But otherwise, I will see you guys sometime midday tomorrow GMT. Peace out, folks. And remain legend. Have a good night. Yes, you heard that right. I'm going to be going live between 12 and 2.